Severe thunderstorms are moving through central Ohio right now. In their path, they've left multiple trees down, more than 100,000 homes without power across the state. Thank you so much for joining us today. I'm Tracy Townsend.
And I'm Stacia Nucken. Severe storms, flooding. That's why our team issued a 10 weather impact alert. We have live team coverage for you on the severe storms, damage, and water rescues as well.
Yes, we want to start with meteorologist Justin Gersh. Justin, talk about where the severe storms are right now.
Yeah, so there's the round that has moved through central Ohio, now gradually pushing out of the state, but we still have some lingering rain across portions of the area. Still technically a severe thunderstorm warning that includes Athens and points off to the north and east, but the strong part of the storm has now moved away from you. So you're fine as far as the severe aspect goes, but we are still seeing some areas of heavy rain, steady rain behind that. It's going to take a little while for that to end. As a result, because of the rain we had this morning and what's fallen still, there are still those flash flood warnings in these areas in red. If you do encounter water over the road or in parking lots, don't go through it. Find another route. Again, these flash flood warnings go until the afternoon. As we look at the wider view, here goes that line of storms that we had earlier on. Behind it, things are quieting down. The clouds may actually thin out for a time this afternoon before the next line of storms moves into the area. That'll allow these to at least maintain their strength, if not get stronger, as they move into the area. So even though there's a lull, there is more to go. We are not done for the day. We still have these storms across northern Indiana, northern Illinois. These eventually are going to bend more to a southeasterly path back into somewhere in central Ohio. Still too early to know exactly who's going to be most likely in line, but we at least have that threat for additional strong wind gusts and flooding later today into the evening hours. So what you can do, stay aware, have that 10 TV app on your phone so you can get those notifications as they come on in. For now, though, let's send it back to you.
All right, thank you so much. And right now in South Columbus, we received a report of a building collapse.
10 TV's Kevin Landers continues our team coverage now, joining us live from the south side. Kevin, it took you an hour just to get to the scene because we know the storms and the damage you were encountering, they really were so bad. So what are you seeing now?
We don't know if this was a tornado or whatever it was. It was strong enough to look at this trailer behind me, ended up on its side. Now, here's what witnesses tell us. It was parked in this bay over here. The wind either picked it up or dragged it, took a chunk out of the side of the building, and then it was dragged, as you can see here in the lawn. You can see the line here where this truck was eventually pushed. This is about 3,000 pounds. It was empty at the time and then landed over here. So it's a good 50 feet. And as you can see, it then got torn up as it hit concrete. But take a look inside. The winds were so strong, it actually ripped off half of the roof inside this warehouse. We're going to take you inside here. You can see here at the very end, on the opposite end actually, is where the roof was actually torn off. You can see the panels up here that were all ripped off. And then behind it, there's actually a water line break inside that's flooding this warehouse at this hour. The tree was snapped. There are other buildings down the street here that also had their roofs torn off. But the good news is no one was trapped inside. Instead, it was a gas leak that the fire department finally got it secured. But you can see the roofs down there are all ripped off here along Fairwood Avenue. Back to you.
All right, Kevin, thank you for that bird's eye view there of
in every
the
direction.
damage. My goodness. All right, 10 TV's Colin Dorsey and Angela Ann also at that same scene where emergency crews are planning a news conference.
Yeah, because there's a lot of confusion in this area in particular because it was so intense, especially for that hour there.
Yes, and so Angela, we understand you're expecting an update any moment. What can you tell us right now?
We are, and in fact, guys, because there's just so much information to collect, the city has now pushed that press conference to 1 o'clock, so we will be there when that happens. But let me just show you why they need to push it back. Look at this damage here on South Parsons. I'm probably about a mile away from where you just saw Kevin, but look at that tree off in the distance, right in front of a home. And however tall that tree was, it is now all over Parsons Avenue. So this is why this part of South Parsons is closed. As we come back here, I'm going to have you look down the street this way. I know we don't have much time, but all the way down on the bottom, there's a street sign that is now on the ground. The people who work at the Ace Hardware said that it felt like a tornado ripped that street sign pole out of the ground. It bounced off their building and then wrapped around another pole. This entire south side of Columbus, you just see damage everywhere. So we'll have much more for you coming up, of course, here on 10 TV and on the stream.
All right, Angela, thank you for that.
And 10 TV's Kristen McFarland joining us live from Crooksville, where we understand things are very active behind you. Kristen, what can you tell us?
Yeah, we just got on scene here at Watt Hill Road. As you can see right behind me, crews are stepping into this water, high flood waters up to their knees. Take a look at this home to the left right here. I mean, the water touching almost up to that door or the windows on the side of the home. And if you can see far in the distance, a red truck that is almost completely submerged in the water. This flooding has been consistent. The rain has been consistent like this for hours since early in the morning. There are multiple crews here from Madison Township Fire Department to the Marysville Fire Department. Again, right now, those crews are heading over this road that dips down, so the flooding's really collected to help assist in a water rescue. So again, we are keeping a close eye on this. You can hear the thunder and the lightning still going in the background, but this is just another example. I want to turn to the left here too, as you can see how much this road has flooded. Neighbors' yards completely flooded. Difficult for people to get out of their homes right now. Again, it's just unbelievable how much flooding near this home. That truck, as you can see, crews again almost now up to their waist in water here. So we're going to keep checking in on this and see what goes on after this. There are other reports of water rescues around this area. We were just at the Crooksville Fire Department where they had multiple crews. They were mapping out places where they needed to go. They're going door to door to evacuate people as they suspect this flooding is going to stay like this for a while. Back to you guys.
Kristen, did they tell you where they are headed for this rescue? Are they headed to a vehicle? Are they headed to a home on the other side? Where are they headed?
Yeah, so as you can see again across this street, there seems to be a few people we've seen trying to get out of their homes. At one point, they did try to drive and realized that's not going to happen. So it seems to be these people on the other side of this road are having difficulty leaving. So that's where they're going for right now. Again, we're going to keep watching this, though, as we know they are encouraging people to get out of their homes and go to those safe places. But again, this is just one of the many water rescues that are going on right now.
All right, so we appreciate that update, and we should just point out that all morning in Crooksville, we were hearing reports of people calling for help like that. Those first responders out there have been working for hours on end.
Well, and we cannot overemphasize the danger of that moving water, and we're seeing it grow. And we also want to continue our team coverage now.
Yes, these storms did leave a path of destruction across central Ohio. 10 TV's Amy Steigerwald is continuing our team coverage from Upper Arlington.
So near Upper Arlington High School, we understand, Amy, and you are seeing a car stuck under a tree. Is everybody okay?
It appears so, but as you take a look, you can see it is completely smashed here. This is right off of Zollinger, not far from Northwest Boulevard, and this is pretty much what it looks like all the way from 5 Points through this entire stretch leading to the high school. We're going to walk around here. We are in the street, but they do have areas blocked off. We've got AEP crews, if you can take a look over here at the high school, working to kind of get things settled. But take a look. This is the actual tree that fell onto that car over there. And you can just see how strong those winds were. And as we pan over, that is where the tree was. So definitely a strong wind of some sort came through here, ripped through many areas, that mailbox down. There's about a couple different streets that look like this through this stretch, and you can see crews are here working. Now, I did speak with a couple neighbors that live around here, that work around here. It's kind of hit or miss, they tell me, if they have power or if they don't, but we've seen AEP crews coming and going from this area, but it's just pretty crazy, you guys, how much damage there was in such a short time throughout this morning. Of course, we'll continue to follow this as those crews work to clear these streets. But for now, if you are commuting near Upper Arlington, it does look pretty messy. I'm going to send things back to you guys.
All right, boy, the sounds of progress there as they are trying to start the progress of cleaning up after that. We should point out that we're also going to be talking with someone from the Franklin County EMA at about 12:15. So you want to stay because we'll probably get a good status check for what we know now.
I know, because we are seeing scenes like that throughout central Ohio. And today, almost unbelievable video coming from the Ohio Department of Transportation.
Okay, whatever you're doing, stop so you can take a look at this.
Yeah.
It's I-71 at Weber Road. The wind is so strong, when the storm comes, it shakes the power lines and the trees. The rain is so heavy you can hardly see, but look, it flipped a car. A car just appears to have flipped over. Truly frightening. And again, this was I-71, not outside the city, right in the heart of the city. Really, really frightening. And we should point out that statewide, there are more than 100,000 people without power right now, some without service.
10 TV's Bryn Caswell has been tracking all of this for us. Bryn, we know you've been following this very closely. What's the very latest?
130,000 customers are without power across the entire state of Ohio. Now listen to this, nearly 97,000 of them are without power in Franklin County alone. And we just got some new numbers in from Licking County. Over 10,000 customers are without power this afternoon. AEP Ohio says relentless rain and the powerful winds, some gusting as high as 82 miles per hour, have taken down trees and power lines. Vehicle crashes have also caused problems this afternoon. Matt Bennett with AEP Ohio says crews have been facing an uphill battle since overnight into this morning, with severe weather continuing this afternoon. So he says the work is far from over.
So for our crews, they're out working, and as they're restoring customers, other customers are losing power due to the storms coming through. So it's it almost seems like you're fighting an uphill battle. And then this large storm that just came through just caused a lot of damage.
Right. So the big question this morning, restoration, and you're looking at some images from Upper Arlington. That is one of the hardest hit areas with about 10,000 people in that specific city without power right now. So again, restoration. When can the power get back on? Well, AEP tells me this unfortunately could take days. Right now, there are 2,000 crews out working, 300 of them from out of state, but I'm told more crews from out of state are on the way to help restore the power. AEP is also working on sending drones up so they can see really a full scope of this damage. And they're asking customers to stay patient. And if you see any live lines, to call 911 or call AEP.